Okay, Google. What is OnePlus 2?
The answer is 3.
Okay guys, I actually wrote the script for the OnePlus 2 review 2 weeks back, but then I got the Moto X Pure and a bunch of new phones came out, so it got delayed. Plus, my thoughts on this phone has changed drastically due to more phones coming out near the same price as the OnePlus 2. When I first got the OnePlus 2 a few weeks back, it was undeniably the best smartphone you could buy under 400 bucks. Well, fast forward a few weeks, and the smartphone world has changed a lot. First, let me talk about the screen. The OnePlus 2 comes with a 5.5-inch 1080p LTPS LCD screen, which puts it in the same class as the LG G4 and other tablets. This is certainly a phablet type of smartphone for people who enjoy big phones. The biggest disappointment this year is with the 1080p resolution on the OnePlus 2. While I wasn't too disappointed when I got the phone, with Motorola launching the Moto X Pure for just under $400 with 1440p screen, the OnePlus One simply had its ass whooped. Ass whooping. But not all is lost if you absolutely don't mind having a 1080p screen, as it may get you much longer battery life. Second, OnePlus 2 comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 810 processor with 3 gigs of RAM for 16GB version and 4 gigs of RAM for the 64GB version. Performance is snappy when playing games, and switching between apps is fast. I haven't had any issues with performance with this phone yet, and it should be on par with most flagships running Qualcomm Snapdragon 808 or 810. Third, OnePlus 2 has a 13-megapixel f2.0 camera with 4K and OIS. The camera isn't bad at all, and 4K recording is decent. It's nowhere good as the Note 5 or the LG G4, but it does better than many others. Stills are great indoors, and video recording is also not bad. Its autofocus likes to wander off at times, but other than that, it does a pretty good job. It's a decent camera for the price you pay. Fourth, OnePlus 2 comes with a fingerprint sensor on the home button. This works quite well for unlocking your phone. Now, the fingerprint sensor also doubles as a home button, while it's not actually a home button, rather a capacitive button. The home button sometimes doesn't register and requires multiple presses to get it working. This isn't a huge issue since OnePlus 2 also comes with option to use soft keys, but it is clearly a bug, and OnePlus should have used a real button like on the Note 5. Fifth, OnePlus 2 does come with an option for hardware buttons or soft keys, just like its predecessor OnePlus One. This is certainly one of the major features of OnePlus One in general, and there's no other smartphone like it that offers the option for both hardware and soft keys. Sixth, OnePlus 2 comes with volume buttons and power buttons on the right, and an additional notification button on the left. I find the additional notification button super useful, as you can easily silence your phone or set it to priority or all without turning your phone on. Especially on stock pure Android OS like the Oxygen OS that it is running on, this button becomes handy, no need to fiddle with your on-screen buttons. Seventh, OnePlus 2 is a dual SIM phone that's capable of using both voice data on both SIM cards. In fact, you can even swap out your SIM cards while using the phone. No need to reboot the phone. You'll be able to receive voice and SMS on 2 numbers simultaneously, while allows you to choose one SIM for calls and data as priority preference. For example, if you're using AT&T and T-Mobile simultaneously and you choose T-Mobile for both voice and data as priority, it will try to use T-Mobile first. I tested this out in the real world and found that it will stay on T-Mobile until it drops to Edge. Then it will switch to AT&T if AT&T has HSPA Plus or 4G LTE signals in that area. If your T-Mobile signals drop out completely, it will also auto switch back to AT&T, so you can make calls in T-Mobile dead spots. Dual SIM is one of the best features I've tried on the OnePlus 2. If you need dual SIM with flawless voice and data support, this is one of the best dual SIM smartphones you can buy under $400. Eighth, OnePlus 2 runs Oxygen OS, which is a derivative of Android OS without much bloatware, and you can easily root to install your favorite custom ROMs. As far as custom ROM support, OnePlus 2 offers versatility of pure Android OS just like Nexus devices. Ninth, OnePlus 2 also comes with USB Type-C, one of the first smartphones to launch with it. I'm not a huge fan of USB Type-C yet, as you'll need to buy new cables for your chargers, but it certainly is nice being able to insert it in and out in any way. Now let's talk about what's missing with the OnePlus 2. Alright, probably the worst feature, the speakers are not loud. In fact, it's nearly impossible to use the OnePlus 2 as speakerphone as you can barely hear anything. Listening to music on these speakers is simply horrible. OnePlus 2 has one of the worst speakers I have ever tried on a smartphone, like really bad. If you don't ever plan on using the speakers, this shouldn't be a big deal though. Just use some earbuds or Bluetooth headsets. Pricing on the OnePlus 2 is $329 for 16GB and $389 for the 64GB version. In comparison to its closest competitor, Moto X Pure, which sells for $399 for 16GB version, I feel like having a 1080p screen versus 1440p is its real disadvantage. My personal choice is the Moto X Pure since you get 1440p, micro SD card slots, stereo speakers, and customizable colors. Plus, OnePlus 2 is hard to buy. You can't even buy it unless you have an invite. What a joke. You can't even buy this phone because it's so awesome? No. Just buy the Moto X Pure style. With so many budget-friendly Android smartphones out today, the OnePlus 2 has its work cut out, but for right now, I think it's the second best smartphone you can buy under $400 behind the Moto X Pure and the style. However, if you need DualSIM support, this may be the best DualSIM smartphone you can buy under $400 with the latest Qualcomm processor, fingerprint sensor, and excellent pure Google OS. When I first got this phone, I was like, boom shakalaka, baby. But then Moto X Pure came out, then Google announced the Nexus 5X and 6P. Well, now it's more like, meh.